Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's online craft fair. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jackie Ralston, and I have had the privilege of working with American artisans and gourmet food producers for more than 30 years. In that time, I have produced a lot of craft festivals under the name of the Boston Christmas Festival and now the New England Christmas Festival. I know as a result that crafts festivals are a beloved part of our tradition. People love the weekend outing that they get. And of course, the artisans are very happy to sell their products at the show. It is their income. Now, of course, we are in a time when all the shows have been canceled. And so we here at Artisan Promotions put our heads together to try and figure out how we could help artisans stay connected to their fans and still be able to sell their products. So we've gone this online digital route and want to introduce you every week to 4 artisans, sort of in an up close and personal format, so that you will know the person behind the product. And it will give you more of an insight into how it is that they came up with the product that they are making. So this week, you're going to meet a lady who makes very whimsical planters. And then you're going to meet a sculptor who works with stone and metal. And then a cookie maker. And finally, you're going to meet a painter who has beautiful products to decorate your tables, your dining tables. So let's start. Let's bring in Gabriella Diazcapt and talk to her about her products. Hello, Gabriella.
Hello, Jackie. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you so much for joining us. We're delighted to have you here today. So as I said in my introduction, I know a lot about craft festivals. I've been to a lot, and I sort of think like craft festivals are a treasure hunt. You go wandering around the aisles, you really are excited to be there, but you have no idea what you're going to find.
That's true.
So all of a sudden you come around the corner and run into your booth, which is really a showstopper because you came up with such a clever, original idea. You recycle, you're green, you sort of touch a lot of bases here. So tell us how you got started.
Okay, this is started like really as a joke, not on purpose. I have all my little kids' clothing, and those jeans were so adorable and so cute. I didn't want to give them away. So really as a joke with my husband, I grabbed those little jeans and some shoes that my kids outgrew and put them together. What do you think about making like a planter of these? And we did this, we put in our porch. That was in 2004. And all our neighbors and friends that were coming home, they were saying like, this is so cute. And so we thought, let's try this. And since then, since 2004, we have been doing this. Of course, we don't use our kids' clothing anymore because they are 20 and 24 now.
Wow, right.
How all started. Even they're all used. I'm still recycling. Everything is used jeans, used boots, used shoes. So
just great. I love those slippers.
Yeah. That was so
funny. So maybe we should look at your website.
Yes.
There we go. All right. You have a beautiful website. So let's see, where shall we go? Should we go to About?
You can go to About, yes. That tells a bit about our story, what I just told you a little bit. And there is a picture, I think, of us there too.
There you go. Yeah, this is when you first started out.
Yes. Yes. My husband with long hair. Yeah. It has been a while since then.
All right. So now we want, and the products.
Yes. You can go a little bit up where it says shop and those.
Okay. So here to shop.
Yes. Shop now. Yes. You can get into that button. The shop now. Yeah. Perfect. And that takes you to.
Yeah, and I think you're, there we go, there we go. Yeah, so this way, our viewers can see how
Yes.
creative you are with all the different outfits.
Right, right. I have,
Obviously, these are shippable.
they're all shippable without the plant, of course. I cannot ship a plant. In the show, I always offer a plant, but when they're shipped, I cannot ship a plant, but I always ship them with an empty container. So you can put your own plant in it, or you can use it as something else. It doesn't have to be just a planter. Like some of my customers put their toilet roll paper and keep it in the bathroom.
That's something that we're all
It's
interested
a conversation piece for sure, yes.
in.
You can also use it as a candy ball. You can put magazines in it or pencils in your desk. It's a planter and it has a plate inside that holds the water. So when you water your plants, they don't pee their pants.
So you have dudes and dudettes, I think.
Yes.
And I'm actually trying to scroll down on your website and there we go.
There we go. Yes.
There we go. So
yes. There are some that are standing, tall, short, all depends on the size of the pants or the skirts that I find. And there are some that are sitting, like the one that you can see there. We have them sitting with the legs open, like you can put flat on a surface. Or we have some that are sitting with the legs going down, that look more like a toddler, I would say, not that much as a baby.
yeah.
There you go. Yes, there they are. Yes. So they sit. The legs are folded. And the position that they stay because the legs are made with wood. So they are permanent in that position. We see one that is doing yoga there. We have one on a skateboard.
Right.
The last one has
actually, they are easy to ship because they fold up and then you put the sticks or the rods or whatever it is inside them once you get them home.
No, they are already built. So I put them in
Okay.
the box and you cannot move them. No, they are already built. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not that easy. I have to put them in a big box. Yes.
And I think you said to me that you can even put them outside.
Of course, yes. If you want to keep them out, we always recommend them to spray them before with a Scotch Guard or any other product that is a fabric protector. What will you use for your shoes or for your flags? Once a year, I will do it, and that protects your fabric very well. Yes.
And you will also do custom pieces, right?
Yes, that's a special, very unique thing to do, especially for Mother's Day that is coming now. If you're happy to have your own kids, even your own shoes, maybe you kept those special first cowboy boots or their first jeans or something. I can always make you one with your clothing, and that makes it super unique.
Special, yeah, exactly. And so you probably get some interesting comments as people come by your booth.
All the time. It's yes. Yes, they tell me, sometimes they tell me, this one looks exactly like you, or this one looks like my grandson, or they even tell some parents that are fighting with their kids, they tell me, this is going to happen to you if you don't behave. And I think the cutest and funnest of all the comments was one of my own children when they were helping us unpack one day. They were taking all these kids and they told me, look, Mom, they are our half brothers and half sisters.
Oh, cute.
I thought that was perfect. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So do people send you photos of where they put them in their house?
Yes. I have some photos. Yes. And like in Facebook, I have another Facebook page also. And there I have more pictures of my customers that they send me, how they hang them, how they put them. Like here, there are only a few on the website, but I have like lots of other bigger pieces or different pieces. We have some that are hanging. We have some that are with lamps.
Oh, wow. So people can see that on Facebook, huh?
Yes, they can see more on Facebook. Yes.
And what is your Facebook page?
Exactly. It's the Dudes Plant Planters. You can just look for that and it will come there. In Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. So that was my my final question to you as we're sort of running out of time here, unfortunately, that you want to share with everybody your website because you will ship and they should go and take their time looking at all your different.
They can always email me or call me if they want to do a customized piece. I love doing special and unique things. So please contact me. I will love to do a special job, anything particular that you would like to do.
Thank you. Well, thank you for spending this time with us here today. Obviously, you have a great sense of humor
Look,
And
I want to show you a new one that we just finished. Look at
oh,
this.
good.
She's not on the website yet.
Oh, I love that. Look at that tiny little sofa. Wicker.
Adorable, the
I
wicker.
don't even know where you find the piece, but that's great. That's great.
Look
Yes.
at the embroidery. The girls have so many cute little. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. I can. Yes.
It's an adorable piece. Yes.
Yes, it is. It's true.
Attached to this because it comes with it. It's all one big piece
Keeps you busy thinking of new creative ideas, huh?
all the time.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you at the shows in the fall.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Good. Okay. Well, that was fun, and now we're going to introduce you to sculptor John Davis, who is from Vermont. And John, I think you're about to be joining us.
Hello.
There you are. Well, welcome and hello, and thank you for being here. So,
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
you're a sculptor, as I said. You also live in Vermont.
I do.
You love the outdoors.
I
Vermont
do.
is to love the outdoors. It's such a beautiful state. And you are a marathoner and also have done a number of Ironman. And
Right.
and you take your inspiration from the outdoors. So I think that you have been very clever in combining your loves and your passions. So tell us about your sculptures.
Well, like you said, it's been a confluence of many different things. That my passion for the outside, growing up in Vermont and doing a number of these sports: mountain biking, skiing, running, canoeing, triathlon, hiking, and various other ones. And my love for, nature in general, the rocks that my wife and I collect are really things of beauty. They all come from Vermont. We hand select every single piece, and that's part of the joy that we get in collecting and then passing them on to other people. It's just as much about the rock as it is about the sports and the wildlife that figures that we place on the piece. So it's
So sometimes it's hard for you to actually let one of your pieces go when you put your heart and soul
I
into
miss them. And I've heard other artists say the same thing. But one of the funny things is I remember almost all the pieces, and having done
Wow.
probably a couple of thousand now, somebody will say, "You did a piece for me." I say, I remember that piece, and I do. With the exception of the tiny, the little bitty ones, like this,
Yeah.
which we do hundreds and hundreds of every few months. But I remember the bigger pieces.
Let's get James to pull up your website so we can look at all the
Sure.
designs that you've got, because there's a lot of them. So let's see, we should probably go to the shop page. I'm trying to pull this down. There we go. Is this where we should be? I know this is sort of a funny.
I want to be clear about the website. It's meant to be representative of the pieces that we do, and customers don't order directly from the website, but they can contact us with their requests or with what they're interested in. And what that does is it starts a back and forth via email, and we send pictures of either a work that we have available at the time, or we create one with the customer.
Got it. So looking at the top here, you've got just about every sport cover.
Oh yeah, and we have many more than that. We've got over 100 pieces of,
Wow.
yeah, of
Yeah,
things.
and yet you also have you have wildlife,
Yeah.
you have decorative pieces. Maybe we can scroll down and see some of your.
Right.
So actually, as we're going down here, this second piece here where you've got a canoeist and
A
bicycle.
kayaker, a road biker, and a
Yeah.
snowboarder, and a custom piece for a woman that gave it as a gift to her husband that does all three sports. And that's a fairly common thing that we do. And another one you can see there on the right is for someone that wanted to create a piece specifically for a gift for someone that did a number of different sports. And we've done many like that.
So what I want to point out while we're here is that you do an amazing job of finding the right rock for the right sport. So here's this biker going down a mountain trail and it's not exactly smooth, which is just the way
Right.
it would be. And yet I've seen on your website, help me out here. Here's a snow skiing on a rock.
On white marble. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then over, you've got some absolutely smooth rocks. I saw some ice skaters and
Right. And that's on a hand polished marble to look like ice. Uh-huh.
which it absolutely does. We'll probably come across it as we go through here. And here's a picture. I'm not sure if I have the ability to go over.
Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to show you finding your rocks, because that's sort of a cool.
Right. And yeah, there we are in in a quarry of stone that is unique to Vermont. Serpentine is found worldwide, but Vermont has a strain called that they call Vermont Verde, which is a beautiful dark deep green with flecks of gold in it and flecks of a white quartzy looking thing, and I put an awful lot of figures on that Vermont Verde. But it's a privately owned quarry, so we're about the only people that have access to that beauty.
Really? So here's some couple of wildlife. You've got the moose there and
Moose,
the duck there. I
balloon,
mean,
yeah.
you have a tremendous design ability. It's wonderful to see that with the sports figures, you're getting the flow of what you're doing. With the wildlife, you're capturing their mood. Then over here, you've got these trees, the fall trees with the candles.
Yeah.
That's a very cool piece as well. And
Thank you. I think your other artists would probably agree that, there's nothing like getting compensated for your work. But one of the things about going to an art show is for people to come by and we work hard all week. And then over the weekend, when you go to an art show, the validation that you get by people coming up and saying something like, I've never seen this before. This is so cool, so unique. You can really bask in the validation and the satisfaction that you get from so many people appreciating precisely what you've just said, capturing the essence of the sport.
But at the same time, you have to have the skill to pull it off the way you have. I mean, that's you've got.
And I don't even think of it that way. It just somehow it's just I'm not trained. It comes really naturally to me, and I enjoy it. I do it all day, every day.
So we are out of time, and before we go, I would like you to tell everybody your website again, because you're happy to ship any products.
Absolutely, and we do almost daily. It's vermontrocksart.com, and if you'll contact us via the email address, we will start a dialogue with you and get you exactly what you want.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, and good luck making it through this spring and summer. So now we're going to bring in Margen Soliman, who calls herself a cookie artist. And that's sort of an interesting terminology because one doesn't normally apply artist to cookies. And so you created an idea that was very different in the cookie world and made a business out of it. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so my company is Mug Buddy Cookies, and we make cookies that are buddies for your mug. They're three-dimensional cookies that sit on a mug. Started the company back in 2015. That was our official launch as a company. Our start was I had seen some 3D cookie houses and decided to make them for friends and family as part of a family holiday baking tradition, and they loved them. And I realized you couldn't buy these 3D cookies anywhere online. So I sold a couple on Etsy and was found by a buyer for the chain Anthropology who loved it. And they asked if we would create a custom line of cookie houses for them. And we did. And
You must have been just flipped. I mean, I can imagine that phone call. You're just starting this business. You have this crazy idea and Anthropology calls you.
my favorite thing was in their phone conversation, our first phone conversation, they were talking at the time only about 9,000 cookie houses. And they said, how many have you made at once? And I said, 7. So it was a rock.
For 9,000 and you were able to fill it?
The order ended up actually being, we delivered 96,000 cookie houses in 10 weeks, which was insane. I had a staff that was helping me of about 40. So yeah, it was a big start. So we actually, several of the individuals from that very first year, that very first run are still with us. There's a core group of, I think, 6, what I call icing artists that have stayed with us. Some of them are decorators. Some of them are what we call assemblers. They're the ones who actually build the cookie sculptures, you could say. And since that first year of houses, we've actually had a lot of fun coming up with all sorts of different lines for all sorts of different seasons.
So James, I'm gonna ask you if you can pull up Margen's, yeah, exactly, her website, so we can see. So before we go to your whole website, just can you explain how that sits on the top of the mug?
Yes, so there is, in all of our mug topper cookies, there is some type of channel that we use that has been sized for as small as a regular coffee mug up to huge oversized mugs. So anytime you see a mug topper, there's a channel sometimes incorporated in the design, sometimes hidden by the design that allows the cookie to sit on the mug.
So now we can see that a little bit better with the birdhouse at the top and with the
Yep.
Blueberry, pint of blueberries down below. And so the shape is one part of what you do, but you also have fantastic flavors. Tell us about your spring summer flavors, because I think
yes. So our spring summer flavors are ginger peach, which is inspired by iced teas, lemon lavender, which the inspiration was lemon lavender lemonades, and then coconut lime, which in truth, that flavor came from my favorite lotion from Bath and Body Works was that idea. But the flavor combo also ended up being just fantastic. And so these are great to go with not only your traditional coffees and teas, but also iced teas or lemonades or glasses of wine. They pair really well with all of those.
sounds great. And did you mention, did I miss that you have a lavender peach?
The lemon lavender, yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful combination of very light flavors.
Exactly.
You've got these great flavors going, and then you've got all these different shapes. So now we can see the flower assortment.
Yep.
Um,
And that's what I have on the mug next to me is one of our flowers.
okay, and then you've got a nautical line. So we've got the lobster there, and I think you've got lighthouses. Is that on?
Yeah. Yep. So being on the coast of Maine, we have a lot of inspiration from, the seasonal visitors that come up this way, and our lighthouses and our lobsters. So we have a few different fun twists on those. We have the lighthouse with chocolate rocks. which are edible. They look like actual rocks.
That's a great image, right? Shall we go to nautical to find that?
Yes, nautical or that spring summer where you were. Yep.
Okay, so here's nautical. And there's your lighthouse.
Yep. And the lighthouse with the chocolate rocks, that's on the, yep. Oh, and you can see that. Yep, that's a perfect example of that. So the rocks on the bottom taste just like M&Ms, and they're delicious. And it's just a fun extra twist to what we do. Our mug buddies are meant to help connect people. Our saying is kind of enjoy a mug buddy with your mug buddy. And they're also meant to connect you with your sense of fun and play and inner child, which is why we'll have things like the chocolate rocks on the lighthouse, or like our summer butterflies that have the cotton candy clouds that they sit on.
Oh yeah, we want to look at those cotton candy clouds, but I'm just thinking since we are now living in a virtual world,
yeah,
send your friends mug buddy cookies, and then you can all get on Zoom and have your coffee or your tea and all have the same mug buddies cookies.
Absolutely.
Exactly. To your point, connecting. Yeah, so I want to mention while we're here that you've got edible cards, and I think that's what your custom cookie greetings are, right?
Exactly. Yes, our mug buddy messages. So we will hand decorate all of these, but these ones you can customize the message that you send to someone. So we've had everything from happy birthdays and good lucks recently to one daughter who really wanted to remind her dad to wash his hands. So that was her message to him. But they're a lot of fun to send a personalized message. And with these ones, you get to eat it afterwards.
Fabulous. Yeah. So you'll also do custom work.
Yes.
Aside from the custom messages, but just, I think you and I talked, and I want to make sure that our viewers understand that if you do a custom shape, which is possible, then you go into your design mode, you have to have a stencil, you have to figure out how to make this in a three-dimensional way. So it's sort of a process to get it to happen, right?
Yes, when we do the custom work, it's definitely an involved process, usually with a fair amount of trial and error that goes into creating the structure as well, because we really value capturing the essence of something.
Yeah. And you've got the seasons obviously covered, but then everything in between. So it's just great that you've made such a success of this business. You've been very creative. Just say your website one more time in case anybody wants to place an order.
Absolutely. It's mugbuddycookies.com. So mug as in coffee mug, buddy as in your friend, cookies, because that's what we're eating, .com.
Great. Thank you so much, and congratulations on a great business. And now we're going to interview Carole Shiber, who is our painter. And I'm sure we're going to see her face here in a minute. Hello, Carole. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Very well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So I'm just saying that, you started out life as a painter and have a wonderful sense of color and design. And I don't know, the wheels started turning in your brain and you said, what can I create to decorate people's tabletops that's different from what's out there? And you came up with an idea, as I understand it, in 1989, and you are still a success. So we want to know all about it.
Thank you, Jackie. I want to just say I love this venue. It's so nice to put on a scarf, something a little fancier, right? That this has been an interesting time. So I love connecting. Harkening back from the last one, I love those cookies on the connecting. I love the lineup I've loved all of them, all of the lineup that I'm in. I feel honored to be in this group. And where do I start?
Yeah, exactly. Should we pull up your website? Would that help us to be able to show?
Sure, but you know what? Let me just say this. I've been making functional fine art for the table really for since, as you said, 1989. But I'm really still 32. Just saying. And but I started on linen because a friend of mine came to my house. I used to have dinner parties in my late 20s where friends would just come over. We were all single, we were creative. And one of them, I mean, I would just have them. And one of them said, I love what I had done to my kitchen. And I didn't recognize that I had done anything special to my kitchen. So he kind of mirrored for me that I was creative. I mean, I was in a creative field. I was a copywriter at Bloomingdale's, but I hadn't taken my visual sense seriously. So within a year, I had started making shaped placemats on linen that I then, because I lived in Brooklyn, I was able to sell to ABC Home, Henry Bendel, Barney's New York, Macy's. It was extraordinary. Okay, this is good. So
Yeah.
what we have.
So, yeah, we need to see. Are we in a good place, or should we go someplace else?
This is perfect. Yes, actually,
Okay.
James, if you would just back up to that number one shot. No, on the carousel. Great. Yeah. This shows my leaf placemats, which are now hand painted on repurposed auto upholstery, which
Great. Another recycler. Love it.
yeah, and that I've been doing for 15 years. My husband Bill came along and helped to move into different fabrications. He taught me about die cutting. I had been cutting all of the placemats by hand. It was pretty tedious. So he had a lot of ingenuity and creativity that he brought to the table, and so to speak. This is the leaves and then the flowers, which naturally come together as they do in nature, and they come together on the table as we do, and look better together than we do when we're apart. So there's
Right. So do we have a shot where we can, maybe back up and see how they come? There we go. See how beautifully that each one of those is a separate placement. Right. And
right. So those are two magnolias in the center, the white with gold. Those are two that come together at the bottom to interlock. And then you layer out the consecutive pieces. What's wonderful about that is that you can keep that on the table all the time. And then when you're ready to serve, let's say you leave the two magnolias as your centerpiece, and then pull out the leaf placemats and set them as placemats. This, what you're looking at here, are my hand-painted leafy napkin rings. And we could just pause here a minute if you would, James. This is good too. These,
right.
If we could go back to the other photo. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the napkin rings, which I was in my studio one day about 20 years ago, and I wanted to match my place. I wanted to make a napkin that would coordinate with my flowers and leaves. And I was working in that fabulous fabrication, and this design entered, and I sketched it and I cut it out, and it was just amazing. The roll.
The way that we all conceptually, we know what a napkin is, right? But the colors that you've got, the combinations that you've got, and the way you roll them so that they, and then put the leaf on the base and then put them in a glass is just stunning.
Thank you.
On your website, you've got that image somewhere.
We do. Actually, James, if you would be willing to go to the categories and click on napkin rings. Oh, no, you're right. Up to the care instructions and videos. Click there. Thank you. Then down, down, down. There it is. That one there. Yeah, please click that. And this will show me rolling that napkin. I make my napkins with the stitching so that it highlights the roll. And I'm going to show you here how you do it. It's simple when you know how. You fold it in half, quarter it, and then come over the top just an inch. That creates the petal. Roll it up, then take the folded edge and press into the hole. It's really easy once you do. You get up to about the 17th floor. Then grab 2 sides, pull each out the width of the ring, and then just inch your way in gently, gracefully, or not. And then what's really fun is that you can make it a little fuller.
Looks just like a flower.
And then what's really cool is you double up the bottom, just double it up and plant into a glass. It's just stunning on the table. It's
Oh, yeah.
art.
Oh, yeah. Let's, because I wish we had another 20 minutes with you, but I'd love to click on, because it's very different, the contemporary placemats right there.
Yeah, already.
I mean, you're all about flowers and color, but look at what an amazing job you've done with the contemporary concept of design too. I think those are very cool. I love the cosmic color dots, but then if you're more of a linear person, you've got all these choices here. And where else do you think we should look that we haven't?
I would go to flower placemats. Thank you very much. Right. So here we have buttercups. We have a whole slew of those in different colors. These again are all hand painted in my studio in Kingston, New York. These are all like, I have myself and a couple of apprentices. We lay the paint down. We take the highlight brush. These are all individually hand painted. It is artwork for the table. It's a crazy thing that we do. It's just absolutely crazy in a wonderful way. It's like there's so much care that goes into each one and so much energy actually. And then on those magnolias,
I think it's amazing that these are all hand painted, and I just want to make a couple of comments. First of all, you can't believe how easy they are to clean. You just sponge them off. I mean, that's a really big thing because you don't have to throw them in the washing machine. You just sponge them off. And the second thing I wanted to say is that dating ourselves, but I bought placemats and napkins from you probably 15 years ago, and they look bad for you, but good for me. They look just like the day I bought them. They are just perfect. They're gorgeous. So they're wonderful. And thank you so much for being with us here today. And just tell us again your website so anybody.
It's Carole Shiber.
Special too. So
we also have, can I just say, today we have a special 20% off everything on our website. If you use the coupon code LIVE20, LIVE 20% off everything today on our website, caroleshiber.com.
And that's Carole with an E, just to.
Yes, Carole with an E. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Carole, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm hoping that you get a lot of orders. So that was a quick half an hour, and I hope that you are inspired by the 4 artisans that you met today. They're all very individual, creative, and wonderful. And that is the business of the craft world. That is creativity. And we feel that's an important part of the arts community of our nation and the soul of our nation. Without these creative minds and inspiration, our life is not quite as full. So what we're going to ask you is to please share, like, subscribe, wherever you can on social media so that we can build a community and help these wonderful artisans. And if you want to see this show again or any of our previous shows, you want to go to nechristmasfestival.com and then click on online craft fair. And next week's show, it will be at 2 o'clock again on Friday, and we'll have 4 more really interesting artisans. So thank you so much for joining us, and stay healthy and stay positive.